So we are driving in Wyoming right now. We are about maybe a third of the way across the state.
Oh no, I'd say we're closer to half.
All right, halfway across the state.
Halfway across the state.
And those are the Rockies.
Right over there, you can see them.
That big dark shadow in the
foothills of the Rockies.
Yeah.
Not the hardcore like.
And we're going to be crossing them.
When we get closer into Idaho and like central Idaho, you'll see them. They're big.
And we're going to be crossing them at some point.
We will.
I think it depends on what route Brian decides to take.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be cool to go through the Rockies. Plus, it makes our tiny little car more badass.
Yeah. Oh, it'll happen. Oh, cheap, cheap. Get the cheap, 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 cheap.
That's basically what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, that's stock-ish.
I know, you want to raise it and everything, but that's the body style you're looking for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the X-Jet.
So it is stunning out here. I like the areas that have...
Creek that we're crossing right now.
I like the areas that have more trees. I'm not a huge fan of the all open areas. These trees are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Building something in the stands of these trees would be great. But
there is plenty of land out here with those features, though.
yeah,
you know,
there has to be a school somewhere because that's a playground. You can't have kids and not have.
I'm sure. You may have a 45-minute commute to school, you know, each way, but I mean, when I was growing up, it was a 30-minute drive just from where my parents' house was into town for school.
I feel like kids who grow up in this area, though, grow up more respectful of the land and everything.
Respectful of the land?
Well, I just don't see a whole lot of kids being obsessed with video games out here, comparatively.
Yeah.
Sitting at home on their butts playing video games.
I feel I feel like growing up in an area like this would instill in your children a greater sense of personal responsibility.
Oh, there's more pronghorn up there.
Yeah.
That's like the fifth herd we've seen since we've been out here.
I saw a bunch while you were asleep. But I feel like it instills more of a sense of personal responsibility and even like personal authority. You know, like I guess decision making. You know, like if we lived out in an area like this, if we had kids, you know, of the correct age, you know, say 10, 12, even into their teens, you know, you take them out, you take them hiking, and you know, I would not be worried about going out in an area like this and surviving for a few days, right? As long as I had the right stuff, I'd be okay, you know, whatever.
You also want to make sure that, or I feel like kids would also be very close to their siblings in this type of environment.
But you can get the kids out there and say, all right, you know, we're up here, what's next? And they have to start making the decision for themselves, you know, and say, all right, we found a decent place to camp. All right, now we need a fire. And like, all right, so let's make a fire. And how are you going to do that? It helps instill a sense of, you know, like decision making and responsibility that a lot of kids don't get nowadays, you know, because they get coddled. But this land is just so beautiful, isn't it?
It really is.
Oh my goodness.
It's really quite stunning. There is literally one house every 20 miles around here.
About that, yeah.
Maybe a house every 10 miles, but I mean, they are few and far between.
I figure these houses are probably built on 10 square mile lots. At least. You know, where they buy the land, you know, and they buy 10 miles around it, you know, or 5 miles on all sides. And which that's really quite incredible, you know.
Well, it's just very foreign to somebody coming from the east, because there is no space like this out there.
Yeah. You know, we saw these, and I said, "Baby, what do you think those are?" And she said, "Bleachers." And I was like, "No, those are windbreaks."
I was kidding, Brian.
Sure. There's some pronghorn down there. Look, you see the horns?
Yep. Sweetie, I didn't know what they were, but I was kidding when I said bleachers.
Look at this. Look. Get the off-ramp. This is an off-ramp from an interstate. We're on Interstate 90 right now. and it's dirt. This is why we were discussing earlier, if you were to live in an area like this, we could not get away with the XA. There's no way that we could get away with it.
No, but a Subaru...
Like, the XA works well for driving through, but if we were to live here, more pronghorn, Jesus, they're everywhere. If we were to live here, we would have to have a Subaru, like an Outback, the economy version, the 4-cylinder.
For gas mileage.
For gas mileage. They get about 35 to the gallon. And then I would want something like an F-150 EcoBoost, or even say screw it and buy a diesel F-250.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of the torque required, and they get a pretty decent amount of snow. You know, like 8 or 10 feet a year at a time. You know, around here. So you need something that can push the snow around. You know, you need something to get out on these, you know, dirt roads and have the torque to break free if it gets stuck and all that.
And yes, these are dirt side roads.
Yeah, probably 99% of the county roads out here are dirt. Anytime you're not in an actual town, you're going to see dirt roads. You know, and that's pretty much it.
The mountains are starting to look a little more distinct now.
Yeah.
And it looks like if the things keep going the way they're going to be going, that we're going to be sleeping in the tent for the third night, and it's going to rain for the third night.
Awesome. Okay. We're going to spend some... Are you still going?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to spend at least one night, at least 2 nights, maybe even 3, in Yellowstone exploring. So
what, it's gonna not rain for one of those nights?
Well, hopefully we will have at least one night without rain. But also, it will give it ample time to dry the tent out.
Hopefully.
You know, because it needs to be unpacked and like actually set up in order for it to dry out.
It's gonna smell.
So, it's not gonna smell. It will air itself out. I will buy you a Glade plug-in to hang in the tent.
Shut up.
But it's just so beautiful. Look at this. I wonder what this is. What do you think?
No idea.
Well, I know the big things are grain elevators. Oh, you know what the little cylindrical things are? Water tanks. They're big plastic water tanks, and what you do is you set them out on the range for your cattle, and you can use the water in there to fill up, troughs, so the cattle have something to drink.
Gotcha.
Because Kelsey and I were actually discussing this. This area is not super great for cattle. It's nowhere near as good as
Nebraska.
South and east of here, like Nebraska and southern South Dakota. The grassland is just not as fertile. You know, it's higher up. You know, we've been gaining in elevation steadily, and the grass is just not so great. It works really well for stuff like pronghorn.
Sheep.
It would do okay with sheep.
Alpaca.
Buffalo evolved on this, so I mean they rock it. They get most of their water actually from the grass that they eat, which is where they get the big humps. But cattle have a hard time getting big around here.
Well, this is depressing.
Yeah, that is a little depressing. It's a junkyard, It has to go somewhere. But the cattle have a hard time getting fat enough to be sent to market. So that's why you hear about, the cattle will, live until they reach adulthood, and then they get pulled off the range and put into, holding areas where they get stuffed with corn. Not stuffed as in like shoving the corn down their throat. they get put on, a field corn diet that fattens them up and puts the weight on them before they go to slaughter. Oh, look at this, baby. We're just about to 16.
We're going to be getting off the highway and hopping on another 2-lane road.
The next 2 exits.
Yellowstone via 16, most scenic
16,
route.
Most scenic. Also the safest. Which I am all for scenery and safety and each grade that we can get here. But it is just gorgeous. We're starting to see...
Oh, lightning.
Did you see the lightning there?
Great.
Don't worry, baby. We're not gonna get struck by lightning.
It's not that. It makes camping miserable. You know, I am all for camping. I do not like doing it in the rain.
It'll be okay. But you know, just driving through here, it's just so gorgeous. It's so awesome. Thoughts?
Oh, I think we're good.
Okay.